folks, welcome to the channel. I'm Don. I'm wearing my Montauk Ed outfit. I think this shirt, anytime I think you, Ed, when I'm going to do a video, of course I got my Montauk hat that my Lex gave me. I just call her my daughter, but she's my surrogate daughter. She's not my biological kid, but she gave me this hat, I don't know, 2 years ago. And then you were on the channel making gift requests, and I'm like, oh, Montauk Ed, that's your screen name? I got to wear the hat. And but when I think of Montauk, which I've been out there a number of times, I think of just the blue sky and the ocean and the surf and all that. And this shirt, represents that quite well. So you made a gift to the channel, Ed. So thank you for that, my friend. A letter to my daughter. It's going to be another one of these things that probably rips my heart out, but then I'm going to have a lot to say about, because Ed seems to know how to push my buttons. Like, I don't want to say puppet on a string, but you're like, I know you think in your free time at times, like, all right, what song can I get that's going to get Don going? And you are extraordinary at doing that, Ed. So kudos to you, and thank you. A letter to my daughter. Here I don't know if I'll survive this, but oh Jesus, it's starting with piano.
Thinking, breathing, feeling. Slow down time, 'cause it flies so fast. I'm trying to absorb the seconds while they last. Your scent, your smile, the twinkle in your eye, all the firsts, every low and every high. Catching tears when I'm looking at your face. You're the best part of me, you are my saving grace. And so I wish for you, my love. I want you to feel loved, want you to be free, want you to be anything you dream you can be. Want you to have pride, be humble in between. Don't blend into the crowd if you wanna be seen. I want you to love with your entire heart. Finish everything that you start. Want you to be still, as sweet as you are now. Even when your fears try to bring you down.
Yep.
I want you. Your tiny hand is wrapped around my finger so tight you fall asleep, all cuddled in my arms at night. I know that this will only last for so long, so I'm holding on extra tight while I write you this song. You look at me, I'm wondering if I'm doing my best. You are everything and I am blessed. And so I wish for you, my love. I want you to be strong and stand for your belief, but have compassion for anyone that you meet. I want you to be brave when I am not inside, but fall into my arms so I can tell you it's alright. Take responsibility and own any mistakes. You'll get through anything even when your heart breaks. Don't apologize for being who you are. Shine bright, you are a star. I want you. I want you to feel loved, want you to be free, want you to be anything you dream you can be. Want you to have pride, be humble in between. Don't blend into the crowd, baby, you should be seen.
That's a great shot. Oh, it's over? Well, that went fast. I guess she took her last name's Kerri Parks on this. There's so much to be said, but of course, all right. So my ex-wife and I owned and ran a dance studio for 20 years. Dance studio for children, right? And it was a very advanced school. As they got into their teen years, some of them took over 20 hours of classes a week. Some went on to become professional ballet dancers, some professional modern dancers. But the moms were pregnant all the time. They'd have their baby. I'd meet the babies at 1 week old while their 3-year-old daughter was in dance class, or sometimes like their 11-year-old. One family had 6 girls, no boys, 6 girls, no twins in the mix either. So it was like that for them. And I got to see motherhood, and I got to see the mothers of older girls who would see a mom walk in the studio with her baby. And I still remember this one mom, her name's Karen, and her daughter was Danielle. But another mom came in and she had, her newborn that was maybe a month or 2 old or whatever. And I remember Karen taking the baby in her arms and looking. Now, Karen's youngest at that point was like 15 or 16 years old. And now she's holding like a 1 or 2 month old. And the look in her face, and she's like, oh, I miss having a baby. And as a guy, I'm like, oh, and I didn't have kids of my own. I have surrogate kids, as you guys know, but just this song captured what I saw the mothers. Of course, you're afraid. Your job number one is to keep your kid alive. That's every parent's fear, that you're going to, especially a newborn, that you're going to roll over on top of them, because you get so tired as a mom. But the dreams and the hopes and, in your private thoughts, but the extent of love, every parent I've spoken with said, I could not imagine the way I could love until I had a child. And then when they're in their teen years, the parents are like, I could not believe how much I could detest somebody until I had my child, because they start talking back to you sometimes, as you know. But this was absolutely beautiful. And early on, it just reminded me of like when my Lex came and stayed with me for a bit more than a year. She's from Arkansas, but she came up, and I met her through like a ministry out in Indianapolis. And then when she was looking to do an internship in New York City, she asked me to help with her resume and all this stuff. And I did. And then I helped her find a place to live in my friend's place in the city. Then a pipe burst 3 weeks before Lex was supposed to move in with them. So she stayed with me in Jersey for a year and used my extra car to go to the train station. Oh, yada, yada, yada. And I quickly realized, very quickly after she moved in with me, that she didn't need an older friend. She needed a father figure, because she didn't know how the world worked. She didn't know how New York worked. She didn't know how boys worked. She's a stunningly beautiful girl. And I'm like, good Lord, she doesn't know how anything works. And so I went into daddy mode. I wasn't worried about losing a friend at that point. I was worried about her not understanding how the world worked. And we got along just beautifully, seriously. I mean, I think we had 1 or 2 arguments. One time I got really mad because she was so wrong. The night before I was moving her into, we were going to move her into her apartment in New York. She'd gotten a job. She graduated from University of Arkansas. This was her internship. She graduated. We moved her into her apartment. I cried the whole ride home. I didn't know tears could come out for 45 minutes straight. But the night before, I said, it was like 1 a.m, and I texted her. I said, Lex, are you awake? Yes. So she's in the other room. I said, come to your door. So I went to the door, and I just looked at her. All the philosophy, all the theology, all the sociology, psychology that I've studied in my life, right? You'd think all these brilliant words of wisdom are going to come out. And what came out was, I just want people to be nice to you, right? And I couldn't talk after that. I was done. The emotion, I couldn't talk. She's crying. And So that's what I was thinking when I'm listening to all these words of wisdom in here, these snippets of things you want for your kid when they're younger, and all these thoughts and hopes and dreams you have for your child, that their heart's going to be open to the world, that they're going to be compassionate, brave, and all these words. And when they get older, the proof's in the pudding, whether you raised them accordingly. And if those are your hopes when they're younger, you'll probably manifest them. Not always, but there'll be parts of those things in there. But I just remember, I just wanted people to be nice to her. And but she had to be a certain way in order for people to be that way. And she is. She's just beautiful. She's deep. She's got a heart that's just so wonderful. And she can be maddening at times, and she knows it. Women know when they're maddening to guys. They always know that. Doesn't mean they're going to change, but they know it. So, all right. And Kerri, there's just a pretty, pretty delivery, a pretty voice. It's one of these songs that any parent would listen to, especially a parent of an infant, and probably bawl their eyes out. It's just sweet. So, oh yeah, Ed, there we go. I forgot it was you. And because I get to go on with the song. And you knew this was going to happen. You knew this. Am I going to rate? Yeah, all right. I'll rate this song. It was... the piano clues you in. When a song starts with piano, you know you're in for something else. And this reminded me of Joey and Rory Feek a bit. The beginning of it with the piano, and a different themed song. But all right, well, I'm going to come in with the number, and the number that popped into my head immediately was an 8.8. I mean, it was a nice song of a mother's desire for her kid. And I wonder if you were to bring in, like, orchestral instruments and this thing behind it and all that stuff, what would happen to the song too? I think it was just beautiful as it was written, but this is just captures that part of life when these kids are young. You feel so much, and you feel more when they're older, but parts of it goes into like fear, like, please, now they're at this stage where they're driving, and then they graduate college, and then they're living on their own, and you're like, please find a good guy, please find a good girl, whatever. And then you're just sort of like worried that what could go wrong in life when you get older, and you just want good things for them still. So there it is. All right, guys. Ed, thank you for that, my friend. You got me off and running, and you knew that was going to happen. Have a great day, folks. I'll see you on another video, and keep rocking the country.